girl, fuck small talk. Actually, I have a quick question. How much money do you make? Oh, you stay at home? That's cool. How much money does your partner make? Speaking of your partner, how often are you guys having sex? How often are you guys fighting? What are you guys fighting about? Are you in any debt? What kind of debt? Student loan debt, credit card debt? How'd you get into all that debt? How old were you? What were you doing? Who do you hate most in your family? Why? What did you talk about in therapy last week? Speaking of your therapist, what kind of therapy are they doing? EMDR, cognitive behavioral, like, what are you there for? If we're not talking about these, crucial details, then I just really don't even want to talk.
That has negative $700 in her bank account. I also know a girl that has a really nice car, has a really nice apartment, and a really nice job, but she has $50,000 in credit card debt, and she owes $30,000 on her car. And when I told her that the girl with negative $700 in her bank account was richer than both of us, she got mad at me because we went out to dinner and she said, oh my gosh, can you believe that so-and-so told us that she has negative $700 in her bank account? That's really sad. And how she was asking us for money to borrow until she could get back on her feet. And I said, yeah, it's really sad. Did you send her any money? The girl was like, no, I didn't send her any money because we all have to work for what we have. And I was like, I sent her $20 because that's all I got. But I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you about it. And obviously, she's richer than both of us. Our debts, although we appear to be doing better than her, she's really doing better than us. All she needs is a really good job, and she will be surpassing us in no time. Her credit score is better. She has no credit cards. And she built her credit, I think, with like a credit. I don't know how she built it. She was explaining it to me. I forgot. But just because someone appears to be doing better does not mean they're doing better. And don't dog on someone just because they have negative $700 in their bank account. That's disgusting. Yeah, we all work for what we have, but you can have a bad week. You can have a bad month. Don't run around talking about her when she confided in us so that she could get some Subway. Disgusting. And misery loves company, so don't invite that into my space. And when I tell you, oh my God, this girl's richer than us, you're going to look at me like I'm crazy. I'd rather be crazy than sit there and talk shit about her with you.
Ugh. This video of this girl balancing her budget from her job, and I think like her pay, like her salary is like $75,000. In the video, she said that she her statement for her credit card was like $2,100, and at the end of her balancing out her whole like spreadsheet, she was in negative $200 for the next 2 weeks. Let me just say this. I love that she made that video and that she woke that up, because a lot of people be wondering how people be affording all these designer things, yada, yada, yada. A lot of them are just simply swiping that fucking credit card. A lot of people are literally just living in fucking debt. Big debts. Like, when she said her ending balance was $2,000, I think her limit said like $9,000. That's not even the smallest credit card debt I've seen on people that I personally fucking know. Like, so many people are not only living paycheck to paycheck, baby, they are living credit card statement to credit card statement. And it's literally just a cycle, because after they pay off that statement and they're at like negative $200 for the week, guess what they then have to turn around and do? You betcha. They have to use that fucking credit card. Don't let them have multiple credit cards, baby. We're talking about thousands and thousands of debt. And the other piece of it is that there probably are some scammers out here, or some people who really do have making over 100,000 our tech girls who we love, and the doctors and the nurses, yada yada yada. But a lot of people are just consumed by credit card debt, and it's just a cycle of credit card debt and bad spending habits. Now, I don't know what it looks like if it's a scammer, but I will say, if they can't have a Cash App account, or they're using Cash App as their bank account, it's probably a scammer.
This is really embarrassing, and I'm kind of exposing myself here, but I'm going to be sharing with you all the things that I wasted money on as I was actively growing my $13,000 of credit card debt. I am not in that spot anymore. I've cut my debt down to a little bit below $5,000. I'm also saving up at least $10,000 to bring my mom on an African safari when she retires. So I've really gotten a good handle on my finances, and I've gotten a lot more intentional and frugal. Starting off strong, the first thing is I used to spend $100 every week on a house cleaner for my tiny little apartment for just my cat and I. And she wasn't even that good. And then when I tried to cancel, she wouldn't give me my keys back. But that's besides the point. I spent $400 a month for somebody to clean my apartment. I literally took this money out of my savings account every week to Venmo her. I'm not gonna lie though, the feeling of coming home every Thursday to a spotless house was, oh, it was incredible. Number 2, I used to shop at Whole Foods. I don't know what made me think that Whole Food shopping was in my budget. I was so incredibly delusional. I had no good reason for it. I just wanted to shop there. And my grocery bill would come out to like $300 each time, and that was just right on the credit card. I used to get my nails done every 2 weeks, which cost $100. I used to get these long, beautiful UV gel nails. I miss them so much. I love having my nails done, but that was an unnecessary expense. I used to get Botox in my face, and I forget how many units I would get. I think either 100 or 1,000. I got a lot. Not gonna lie, I do miss having it, but I mean, it's just not in my budget. This one I stopped doing at some point, but I was doing this for a while. I used to get lip filler. Lip filler is so expensive. Lip filler alone was $850. All of those injectables, right on my credit card. I remember one day I walked out of the injectable place and I just spent $1,700 on injectable. Right on my credit card. That was the price of my rent. I paid for a $3,000 West Elm couch. Also, the couch is ginormous and takes up my entire living room, which is microscopically small. And I actually don't love it. But because I spent over $3,000 on it, it's not going anywhere. I booked a trip to Asia for a month. While on the height of my credit card debt, I just decided to go travel the world. And when I came back from that trip, I was hyperventilating over how much debt I was in. And that was kind of the tipping point that made me start this whole journey. I used to order out food all the time. And when I'm talking about ordering out food, I'm not talking a little bit here and there. I was ordering seafood boils weekly. Seafood boils. Talking like anywhere from $60 to $80 seafood boils right on the credit card. I bought my dad concert tickets for not one, but 2 concerts for $1,000 each. Man's never been to a concert in his life. I don't know why I thought he needed to go to 2, but it was a nice bonding experience for the both of us. But that was $2,000 of debt right there. So obviously I had a problem. I had a big problem with spending money that I didn't have. As I was making this list though, I was like, man, I was living good. I was living real good, but I was living in debt and I was stressed out beyond belief. I wasn't even able to enjoy any of those luxuries because I would feel guilty after each and every one.
I try not to watch too much crazy content, but I am so locked into the people who are like $100,000 worth of credit card debt. Which, like, I totally get how people get into credit card debt, dude. Like, America's evil. But how did you get $100,000 credit limit? Like, even if you're opening multiple cards, how did that even occur? I truly don't understand.
Guys, how much credit card debt are we in? Seriously, please tell me. And I'm talking consumer debt. I'm not talking like car payments. Well, maybe a car payment. Actually, no. I'm not talking student loans. I am talking credit card consumer debt. How much credit card debt are we in? How many credit cards do you have? Please tell me, because I'm supposed to be on a debt-free journey and I'm trying, but I can't stop shopping. I'm a shopaholic. We're talking about it in therapy. That's fine. But please tell me so I can feel a little bit better about myself. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. I'm under 10K on 2 cards. So not like combined, not like each. So that makes me feel a little bit better because I know people have like way more than that. But please make me feel a little bit better about myself. Are we in the same boat? Are you above me? Please help. Thanks.
Hey, if you're new here, let's pay. What the heck? Let's pay off $84,000 of debt. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Emma, and 2026 is my year to pay off as much debt as I can. We're starting with my credit card because it is my lowest balance, but it is my highest interest rate. So we make 1 payment a week based off the engagements of the previous day's video. It comes to 1 cent per like, 2 cents per comment, 3% per share, 4% per save. 5 cents per new follower, and then if you post a picture in the comments, it gets a 5 additional cent on top of the 2 cents, so 7. But Monday's engagement comes to $1.34, Tuesday's 83 cents, Wednesday $1.73, which yesterday our weekly total was $3.90. However, today we made $1.10, so that brings our weekly total to $5 even. Each week, my goal is to make at least $10. And I have really high ambitions. I'm making my payment tomorrow. So guys, get me to $10. We are $5 away. I'm not good at math, but that's a lot of engagement. So like, share, comment, save, follow me Post pictures in the comments. Today's engagement question is, what kind of car do you drive and what is your payment? Props to you if it's paid off. And also post a picture in the comments. I drive a 2020 Tahoe and my payments are $561. So post a picture in the comments of your car. I want to know what y'all's payments are. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Amen. Praise God. Hallelujah.
I have a total of 5 credit cards that I need to pay off. And starting from smallest to biggest, the first one is my Freedom credit card. I owe $1,500 exactly. The next one I owe on is Capital One. I owe $4,448.53. Next card is Best Buy. I owe $5,650 exactly. My fourth credit card is with Chase and I owe $6,731.19. And last but not least, my Discover credit card. This is the one that I owe the most on, and the total balance right now is $11,159.08. That brings me to a total of $29,488.75. I started off at $31,000. I am now at $29,000. I know realistically with my 9-to-5 job, I cannot pay the $30,000 worth of credit card debt this year. But if I find other ways to make money, then it is possible. And I believe that I can do that. A lot of people wonder how somebody gets in this much debt, and it does not happen overnight. It is years of bad spending habits, only paying minimum, and just other bad financial decisions that I got myself into. I am making the decision to get myself out of this position because I am 25 years old and I do not plan to carry this debt into my 30s. I want to be a financially responsible person, so I'm taking the actions necessary to get there. If you're on a debt payoff journey like I am, follow along. Let's do this together and become debt-free this year.
How do some of y'all have $27,000 in credit card debt? I just want to know.
Years ago, I was in $60,000 of credit card debt, so I'll tell you exactly how that happened because I also never thought that I would get there, and it really does happen kind of fast. So the number one factor for me was the fact that I had so much anxiety and shame around money that I would actively avoid my finances. Like, I couldn't even look at my bank account, let alone sit down and make a budget. So all this in money advice and how to get yourself out of debt and whatever was kind of irrelevant to me because if I couldn't even get myself to the computer to like open my bank account, I couldn't do the rest of it. And because I didn't have a budget and was avoiding my finances, it was really easy for me to not know how much I was spending month to month on like subscriptions and various expenses that you accumulate over time. Plus, this was like the worst mental health period of my life. So my ADHD was rearing its ugly head and I was impulse spending. I also just had a very nihilistic attitude of like, it doesn't even matter, whatever, I'll just deal with it later. But the thing that you don't realize when you first start getting into credit card debt is how quickly the interest compounds over time. And this is how you can go from having like $8,000 in credit card debt to $27,000 or $60,000 or whatever it is, because all of your cash is now going to two things. It's going to rent, maybe a few different utilities payments that you can't put on a credit card. It's going to your minimums, right? And your minimums on your credit cards are growing every single month, even if you don't put a single new charge on that credit card. When all of your cash is going to your credit card minimums or even paying off a little bit more than your minimums to try to like get ahead, you're still having to put a lot of your purchases on credit cards because you're out of cash. So that combined with the money avoidance to me was this perfect storm of like, I just didn't know how quickly debt would accumulate once it started. Like once the ball started rolling, it gets away from you really fast. So the question is not how does someone end up with that much debt? The question is like, what are the patterns that got you into debt in the first place and that are keeping you from dealing with the debt? Because those are going to be the same patterns that turn this into like a wildfire that spreads really quickly. I actually have a step-by-step process for dealing with your money anxiety and your fear of looking at your bank accounts if that's something you resonate with. So comment below and I will send it to you.
This is a real conversation that I had with one of my friends when I was in university about her credit card, and I still think about this once a week. I have to pay off my credit card. It's like $700 this month. That sucks. What do you mean your credit card bill is $700? Like I just bought all my textbooks and stuff, so I have to pay off my credit card. Like it's $700. My credit card bill has never been over $10. What? Yeah, like you only have to pay the $10. What do you mean it's only 10? What do you mean you're only paying $10? Like, every month you get the bill and you only have to pay $10. It doesn't matter how much you put on. It's literally you just have to pay the $10. How long have you had this credit card for? Since first year? We're in our third year university. Do people not know that? Do people not know that? People of TikTok, people of the internet, just know, like, please, just pay in full. Pay in full.
I'm 22 years old and I have $37,515 worth of credit debt. I also have a $7,992 student loan.
Fair.
I also still owe $55,829 on my car. In total, I have about $100,000 worth of debt.
Generational debt is what this is. Over 100K debt at 22? That's wild. How does one even achieve this? $55,000 on a car? Please, what do you need a $55,000 car at this point of your life? So the student loan being the cheapest at like $7,000 is mind-blowing to me. That's a first. In another of her videos, she says she got into $55,000 credit card debt because of her ex. How the hell did he finesse you into being in this type of position, bro? Like, what the fuck? She also said that she isn't really worried about her debt. She's more concerned about why her ex left her. Really, ma'am? Really? You need to get your priorities straight. I got $900 credit card debt now and I'm panicking, like I'm stressed. You need to sell that car. That $55,000 car, sell that shit. You can't afford that car, sorry. Buy a freaking used car. Then focus on paying your highest interest loan first. Come on.